Hello, it's Jay here again and welcome to another tutorial. So in this lesson we're actually going to do an early test for the pistol weapon before we continue on. So here we are at the FPS controller and I'm actually going to remove the weapons script. So we'll remove that component. And we'll actually come to the weapons empty game object here that we added in a previous lesson, and I'm actually going to add the script here instead. And we'll move up. I'm just going to put mine right at the very top, just because I want to keep all the weapons scripts together. Now, as you can see, I've already added an audio source to this game object as well. Now, a word of warning, we're going to get some errors when we actually test the script, and that's because we don't have a prefab for the pistol blood hit yet. And there's a reason for that, and that is because the creation of this prefab is going to be a little bit more in depth than what we've done before, so I'm going to do that in a separate video. And in fact, if we come to the standard assets, if you wanted to make sure that you didn't get an error, you could just assign one of these prefabs here. So let's just assign the explosion one for now. It will look a little silly, but as I said, don't worry, because we'll be creating that in a upcoming lesson. So with that said, let's go ahead and add in the textures and audio clips that we need. So we'll come to GUI. I've created a standard crosshair texture here, and of course there's plenty available on the asset store or online if you don't want to create your own. And in fact, I've actually downloaded this from the asset store. It's a free asset, and this is what I'm going to use for my pistol icon. So let's assign that there, and we'll come to sounds. Now again, I'm using public domain sound effects, and I think we all understand why we use these, for the purposes of YouTube. So let's get them all assigned to the pistol script. So with those in place, let's have the console in view and we'll hit play. So if I select the pistol, as you can see, there's a problem with the crosshair texture. And we'll come to the script, we'll fix that now. And let's open up the pistol script. Let's just get rid of that one. And we'll come down to the bottom and we'll make the changes here. And this is because I was actually going to use a much different, much smaller texture for the pistol crosshair. But I've decided against that, so we're going to make the changes necessary. And let's just copy these two lines for the pistol icon. We'll paste those in, and we'll just change this to crosshair. So underscore crosshair size X, and we'll just copy and paste crosshair over icon for the Y as well. Just bring the comments back into line. We'll change that to crosshair. and we'll do the same on the line below. We'll just save that off for the moment. Now I'm going to keep the size the same as the icon for now, but it's better to make 2 new variables here just so you can adjust the icon and crosshair sizes independently. So with that said, let's come down and we'll actually do this as we've done previously. Let's break that up and we'll copy and paste the comment. So we'll just change X to screen.width divided by 2 minus the crosshair size X, and that can be divided by 2 as well. Bring the comment back into line and we'll just say at this position X. And in fact, let's just copy that line. We'll paste it in. We'll change width to height. We'll change that to Y as well. And let's change that there. We now no longer need them to float, so let's get rid of that. And let's change the size. So now we just need to use these 2 variables. So we can get rid of all that. Everything up to the comma, we'll just paste that in. And we'll just say crosshair size Y. So let's save that off. We'll downsize, we'll let it recompile. And we'll hit play again. So now let's select the pistol. Now that's much more like it. I know the pistol game object. If I can just free the mouse cursor. So this game object still doesn't move quite as I want it to, but don't worry, we're going to fix that in a later lesson. The only thing we want to check for now is that the GUI is working, which it is. I'll turn on the other GUI so you can see it all together. I'll probably want to move this up on screen at some point. So let's shoot. So we've shot, we've seen the ammo counter go down. Let's see if I can free the mouse cursor again. So it's gone from 12 to 10. Now, as you can see, the pistol icon's here. This is how many we have in our inventory. So when we reload, this should minus by 2. Which it does. If we shoot again and reload, minus 1 to the inventory. So the maths working correctly there. Let's move towards the enemy and see if we can actually injure the enemy. So if you can see, the enemy impact animation is playing. Can get away. Let's just stop that there for the moment. Now obviously it did look a little bit silly with the explosion prefab. We need to create the blood hit, but it worked absolutely fine. We're getting no errors within our console, although we will have to start at some point and actually go over commenting and get rid of these debug logs. So we may handle that in a later lesson. So let's come to the GUI. And what I would do is I'm going to come here. And I think at this point we could create this as a group. So GUI dot, and we want begin group. We'll open brackets of type new rect. We'll open brackets again. And let's just downsize that for now, and let's come to the scripts, and we want the player GUI open. So let's just bring that up now. So we just want to check, because we want to make sure that we're not going to overlap on the GUI here. So our texture sizes, we used a value of 15 on the height. So forgive me, let's come back to the pistol. We'll start it bringing in one at 5, I think. So we have a value of 15, and there's a buffer of 5, so 20, 25. Let's try that value, and then we'll comma again. So that's where we want the group to begin, and we have the pistol icon size. Let's try double that. So icon size X, and we'll use a value of ×2, comma, icon size Y, and we'll want a value of the icon size plus this value here. Let's give that a try. I may have to again move this around. So we're just creating groups like we did with the pistol script here. So as you can see, we have the texture size on the Y 15 plus the buffer of 5. We'll use the same buffer again, so that's 25 all in. Let's close the line off there, and we'll come here and we'll say GUI dot, and we want to end the group. Open and close brackets, close the line off. So end GUI group. In the comments here we'll say create GUI group, and obviously you can break it down as I have done here. So that can be changed to 0, 0, and let's just save that off there for the moment. Let's go and see how that looks now. Okay, let's come back to the pistol. So the position we want is, and let's try, we'll have 0 on the height, and let's have a little think about this for the moment. The pistol icon, let's bring this down a little bit. So let's just use the icon Y value. let's come back to the script now. So we'll divide that by 2. The ammo, we'll try that at 0, 0. Let's save that off again. And this is what you have to do with GUI. You have to experiment. So that's a little bit more as I would like it. So this one, let's have a look again. So at this position we want the icon size .x, and we'll say plus 5, give it a little bit of a gap, and let's have a look here. So 105, let's see how that looks for now. So I thought it would be good to show a video where we're actually experimenting with the GUI and going over how that looks. So we'll just save that there. I think value of 55 would be more applicable. Okay, there we go. I want it sort of in the middle, so let's have a look. Pistol icon. Let's try a value of 25 there. Let's save that off. We'll come back. So that's a little bit more where I would like it. Let's come back to the pistol one more time. I think we'll use a value of 20. I'm actually going to bring this out a little bit more. In fact, let's try a value of 15 there. So let's save that off and let's go and have a look. So there we go. That's a little bit more how I would like it. I'll probably experiment until we get the 60 sort of underneath the 12 there. Just making the GUI all line up. So again, I've changed it to 25. And I think that's where we'll leave it for now. So everything's working at the moment. And we can reload, we can injure the enemy, and all the GUI is actually functioning quite nicely. So we'll leave it here for this video, and in the next lesson we'll continue on and we'll actually create the other weapons, or fill them out should I say. As for filling these out, hopefully they should not take as long, because we can actually copy and paste most of the code from the pistol script, which will definitely speed things up. Now, a word of note, we could have actually just created one script with a whole host of different variables that changed depending on which weapon was selected. But when I sort of wrote out an early version of that script, it was an extremely long-winded script, and I wouldn't say messy, but it made it a lot more complex to follow along too. And as I always say, this is a beginner tutorial, so I did decide to break it down into separate scripts, but bear that in mind, because you yourself may at some point feel confident, or maybe you feel confident now to, once we've actually done all the scripts, to go back and revisit it in your free time and actually condense the scripts down. And of course, if you want me to cover that myself in a future video, you only have to let me know in the comments or message me, and I will always try my best to oblige. So, with that said, I hope you've enjoyed this rather different video this time. And I will see you next time, where we'll continue on with the play weapons. And as always, until next time, bye for now.